Welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. The show will start in approximately 4 minutes and 26 seconds, and then you'll be able to see me and hear me all at the same time. But if you're watching this show in replay, you can fast forward right past this spot and get right into the show, if you wish. Also, on another note, remember to watch I'm Right on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Come on and check Jill and I out on this amazing show that you can also be a part of. So if you come to I'm Right, and you would like to participate in the show, there'll be a link there for you to do that, and there will be other QR codes that will pop up on the screen if you wish to talk. And that goes for this show also. There will be a QR code that pops up from time to time, and you can scan that with your smartphone and get right into the show. And there will also be a link that will bring you right into the show where you can have a conversation with me. And the audience will be able to see you, and I will be able to see you, and we can talk about some real stuff. So we've got approximately 2 minutes and 55 seconds, and we'll get right with you into the show. So please stand by. All right, we've got about 2 minutes to show time, and I am looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. If you are here live, I would love it if you participate in the conversation this evening. Tonight's episode is Caste is real. And I'm talking about the caste system in the United States and that it's real. And I will do a poem entitled Caste also. And it'll be a quick poem. This one won't be too long, approximately 2 minutes and 44 seconds, I believe. And then we can discuss it if you are here live and would like to do that. So we have approximately 1 minute and 7 seconds, and we'll be right with you. So please stand by. Well, we have about 30 seconds and the show will begin. And remember, if you are watching this in replay, you can fast forward right into the beginning of the show. So I will be with you in about 15 seconds. So see you in a moment. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Can you believe it? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Okay, so look, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. As you know, I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. I'm just trying to spread a little love every day with poetry living inside me. So what in the world can I do, can you do, can we do? It's just another online show. So let's see where we go when we know what we feel is real. Let's show how we deal with real discrimination. Let's show how we use what we have with poetry. Let's show how we live with real racism taking our breath away while taking our lives away. We take steps every day to make us better and stronger the longer we live with poetry in our souls as we grow old and wise. And this is why we're on this journey. Because we're seen as the others, not brothers and sisters. They got us playing Twister, just waiting for us to topple down, always trying to keep us underground, but we keep rising and standing up for our rights. We actually already have. So let's do what we do with love and poetry. Poetry. Now we can be the change we need because we are everyday people, but we are creative, smart, and strong people, poetic people fighting racism. That's you, that's me, that's us. Creative people fighting racism, poetic people fighting racism. Woo, gee, messed that up, didn't I? Look, welcome. I am so happy that you are here. My earbuds are falling out and everything else. Well, I am glad to see you all here, whoever is here. welcome. And if you're watching this in replay, I'm happy that you're watching this show. Also, now, I have an announcement to make. Big announcement. This is going to be my last show of Poetic People Fighting Racism. I've been doing this show for approximately 3 years, and I used my manuscript as content for the show, and I've had a few guests on during the show. And I do try to show the situation people of color live in the United States of America. I hope that in the 3 years that, one, you were entertained, two, that you did learn something about our situation in this country. I hope you also learn to look at people differently, where you would stop making instant judgments by what you see. And I'm talking about what you see in their color. I hope you've learned something about racism and prejudice and the caste system in this country. And again, tonight I'm talking about the caste system is real, okay? I'm going to do a poem tonight just called Caste. Again, it's from my manuscript. And I'm sure in 3 years I have done this poem before. But I thought it would be a good idea to make this the last poem I do in this particular show. Because it's very important that we understand it's not just racism and prejudice and all of these things that go on in this country that people of color are affected by, but it's also the caste system. And many of us don't realize that the United States is is run on a caste system. And now, as many as you know, throughout my manuscript and throughout many of the poems I use, I make reference to the blue and white eyes. So when I say that, I am not particularly talking about people with blue and white eyes. I am talking about people that believe they have blue blood running through their veins, which makes them better and supreme than anyone with color in their skin. They believe they're better just because of the color of their skin than anyone else. So that's what the blue part is. And the white part refers to seeing the world with a white gaze. So through a white person's eyes that believe they are superior to anyone with color. So that's what's going to be in the poem, part of that. So the poem tonight is called Caste, and it's a quick poem. It doesn't go on and on and on. So let me press a button and I will get into it. There we go. It's an elaborate system the blue and white eyes created, wherein we are outcast, cast out, kept out, knocked down, kicked around, messed on, stepped on, and ground down. For the melanin in our skin, the darkness of our skin, less than just living and dying. They see us born alone, then living, then dying is less than. They don't see our loving mothers or our protective fathers. They don't see our strong black sisters or our strong black brothers. They don't see our intelligence or our fearlessness or our homelessness. They don't see our compassion for all of mankind, whoever they are. They don't see a black life, a black man, a black woman, a child. They only see less than, not worth living, just dying. They're lying to themselves in every portion of this country by seeing us as the lowest of the low, below the lowest rung, seeing us only as less than, just living and dying, stealing and lying, and Black Lives Matter, 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 less, and less than in their system of caste, hierarchy, and class controlled by them, making us play the role of the less than in their system of caste and ass kissing, their system of American systemic racism, their system that keeps us drowning in America's racial septic system, their system designed to keep us below mankind, below the human race, below the poverty rate. They're trying to make a case that we are lazy and worthless and useless and won't take care of ourselves without the help of our false white saviors, the blue and white eyes that control our lives. It was by design. The United States was created to keep black lives ground down, oppressed, depressed, abused, and used like tools to exploit black lives in any way they see fit. In any way they see fit. Any way they see fit. All right. That was Caste. Right to the point. Pretty direct. So this is a pretty direct poem. And I am going to go through this poem like I usually do. In some of the shows I do not, but in this one I am. Because one, it is my last show, and two, it's what I do. Okay? So I begin with it's an elaborate system the blue and white eyes created. And we are truly in the view of white people in this country, or some white people, not all white people, but we are viewed as being outcast, a less than, So I say, we are outcast, cast out. So we also are cast out and we're kept out and we're knocked down and messed on constantly. We're ground down because every day, there's somebody that is white that is trying to do something to either show we are less than or treat us like we're less than. So it's a thing we go through on a daily basis. And it's strictly because of the color of our skin. Strictly because of that. I mean, really, isn't that like insane? Let me reposition this mic a little bit. Isn't that insane? That strictly because of the color of our skin, we're treated less than. And this is because the United States legally made our ancestors slaves. So it was the law, legal, so they could profit, so they can gain wealth. Our ancestors gained no wealth from slavery, from being enslaved. We did not. We got nothing. So I'm going to jump down a few more lines to another stanza. So I say in this line, they see us born alone. Now I do need to explain that. So even in the hospital, when a black baby is born, already the delivering doctor and already the nurses that assist, you're already seen as less than. You're seen as, I used alone because they don't even give our parents credit like they're people. So here's this baby. It's just born. Just another baby. Another one of their babies. So from when we're born, the only people that care about us is our family. But the rest see us as nothing from the moment we're born, which is it's a awful thing. And then they see us living. Black people live over there. And then they see us dying in the streets because we're being shot by cops. So that's why I had those lines. So I do have, they don't see our loving mothers or our protective fathers because they're not really seeing us that way. They're seeing us kind of as less than human beings. Which again is insane. Just insane. So they don't see our strong black sisters or our strong black brothers. They don't see our intelligence or our fearlessness or our homelessness. So what I'm saying there is, it doesn't matter what we do. Doesn't matter how much education you have. You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. You can be a judge. But when they see the color of your skin, even though they may not say this, they see you as less than. So it's kind of like not seeing us. So it doesn't matter whether we're wealthy or not, or homeless or not. They don't see us. They don't see us. They don't understand us. And don't want to, actually. They don't see our compassion for all of mankind, whoever they are. Now, here's the thing about black people. It's in our blood. And I'm not saying 100% of black people, but in general, it's in our blood to help someone. We will help someone. We will help a stranger. We will help someone in need. And why do we do that? Because our ancestors that were enslaved had to help each other to survive. And over the generations, it's kind of instilled in us to help someone if they need some help. You know, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I had a homeless man that was black that wanted to help me. Because he believed I was on hard times. Who does that? A black person. So they don't see that about us. Then they may expect it from us because we are black and we're supposed to want to help them if it's a white person. But that's entitlement. Totally different. Totally different. And the bottom line of that stanza is, they only see less than, not worth living, just dying. Okay. Let's find something else. Okay. They see us as the lowest of the low, below the lowest rung. So, of course, I'm talking about we're even below the lowest rung of a ladder. So, in this country, we're viewed as the low people. It doesn't matter who comes to this country, where they come from, what nationality they are, what race they are. It does not matter to certain people of this country. They still view black people as being lower than everyone else. And why? Because we used to be their slaves. So they tend not to see us as complete human beings. They view us as those are the people that used to be our slaves. That's an awful thing. That is an awful thing. They see us only as less than just living and dying, stealing and lying. And that's kind of what they expect from all of us. And why is that? Because that's what they show on the news. If you watch news reports, they show us mostly in bad situations. Committing a crime, killing someone, robbing someone. But Throughout this world, there's all types of people committing crimes. That's part of this world. It's going to happen. But in this country, they show us committing crimes more than anyone else. And it's not balanced. It's not balanced. You know, a black person commits a crime and they're going to talk about how horrible he or she is, and what an awful thing he or she did. But if a white person, sometimes, we know, we've heard this, just goes out and starts killing people of another color, you know, they was just having a bad day. They have taken mass murderers of black people, and they catch the guy, and then they stop off to get burgers because he's hungry. They're all hungry. We're all together. Let's stop and get burgers. Huh. Let's see if they take us to get burgers if we do some horrible crime like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the reason this happens is because there is a caste system here. And we are permanently viewed as less than, on the bottom of the caste system. So let's see. I'm saying here they make us play the role of the less than in their system of caste and ass kissing. Now I use ass kissing because many of them really believe we should be kissing their ass. I am better than you. It's the thought process. So you should do what I say. To this day, you know how you go to the grocery store and you have a cart? And some places they have a cart return, and other places the cart has to be returned like to the store. Some white people have no problem telling a black person after they've, a white person delivers their groceries to their car, but now it's time for the cart to go back. And they have no problem looking at a black person and say, will you take my cart back? And then if you say no, they get angry. How can you say no? You know I'm your superior. This happens today. This has happened in the town I live in. Okay, so I know this happens. I am not making this up. White people will still tell you to do something in the store, like, hey, get that off that shelf for me because I can't reach it. And if you say, no, get a store clerk to do it, they'll get angry. How dare you? How dare you not take my commands? How dare you not do what I tell you to do? These things still happen in America. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Let's see, what else do I have? You know, it's funny that people will still assume that we are lazy. and worthless and useless, and that we will not take care of ourselves without the help of our false white saviors. The blue and white eyes that control our lives. They actually believe they're doing us a favor by directing us, by telling us how we should live, what we should do, how we should speak, what kind of clothes we should wear, how we should wear our hair, which I have none. It's an ongoing thing. You would think, oh, not in this country. Oh, yes, in this country today. Today. And down in my last stanza, I say, it was by design the United States was created to keep black lives ground down, oppressed, depressed, abused, and used like tools. Because essentially, that's how they viewed us. They enslaved us and made us work like one of their tools. They made us work like mules. They made us work like plows. They made us do the work of machinery. They didn't need to get machinery. They got enslaved people to do it. And they got rich and filthy rich. And many people are still filthy rich from using enslaved people in this country. You've heard that term, old money. Old money in this country are people that held slaves. Well, I am just about out of time here. This is my last show on October 5th, 2024. I do want to say I really did enjoy this show, and I've enjoyed many of the conversations that we had on this show. And this show, when I created this show, it was one to bring some awareness to the things that go on in this country. The other reason is because I want to bring people together. I want people to understand that we're all human beings. I want people to understand that love is the answer. So if you're a person that hates someone for no really good reason, you are one of the people I'm talking to. If you have hatred for someone because they come into work late, this is not something worth hating someone for. If you hate someone because they're a different color than you, then a different nationality to you, if you hate someone for coming to this country because they're trying to save their lives, this is something you need to stop. We need to have love and compassion and empathy for our fellow human being. And I'm not saying every human being is perfect. No one is perfect. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. None of us are perfect. But we have to do a better job. Because the more you hate, the more even if you don't like someone, you hate that person and make a view because they're overweight, or maybe they're handicapped and missing a limb, or maybe they're mentally ill, maybe they're homeless. Maybe they don't have an extensive education. Maybe they live in the poor section of town. But you have a view and a judgment on all of these different types of people that are just human beings. Show some compassion. Show some love. Every show that Jill and I have had, it's all to show love and togetherness and to learn how to interact with each other. Always positive. Even when we're joking. Always positive. So I hope you're able to take that away from at least my show. Had a 3-year run. It's over now. Maybe I'll bring something else in 2025. But there will be something else. Don't know what that is yet or what it's going to look like. But I love doing this show. And I really do love you all. So with that, Jill, you can start taking us out. And I do want to remind you to check out I'm Right, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I will be there and Jill will be there and we'll be nice and happy. Jill's telling me something, but I don't know what. I see what she's telling me. She's telling me to play some music. Because that gets us out. Oh, yeah, I use that board over there, and she has other board over there. So you got music and video and audio split up. Anyway, so yeah, check out I'm Right, and I am your host, Anthony Cordova, and I love you all. So till I'm right, I'll see you there. I love you all, and it's been great doing this show. So, till next time, bye.